Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Time for second game here of the second series of the day for the ESL One and Genting SEA Open Qualifiers. Hanoi Geniuses versus Fortnite Vikings, who just took game number 1 in very convincing fashion here. The only thing that they had to deal with was a Meepo who wasn't really able to accomplish too much either, so they've been able to roll over them more or less. We'll see whether they can do that again. Viper joining us one more time, but this time the Earth Spirit and the Doom on the other side. Alright. So, stakes are a bit different.
I think they identified that Clockwork was the issue for them last game. Perhaps thinking they needed an off-lane that presented more of a threat. But I think if they go for that Silencer Meepo again, they need the Meepo to be buying a Blink Dagger and being a real threat. You definitely don't want to draft the exact same thing twice and just make the same mistake twice in a row in a BO3.
You also go for something else in the middle lane, like, could you consider even a Razor? That's actually not banned out. One of the like the one hero that I see as a decent counter to the Viper.
Radiant team ban.
That and maybe the Sniper to some degree, but now as I say that, it's been taken away.
Razor, Lone Druid, main 2.
Oh yeah, Lone Druid main.
But you can also just draft like a dual lane. You could do like Lich plus Morphling mid, for example, Lich anti-mage mid.
5 seconds remaining.
Put a Puck against the Viper. It's usually pretty fine. They just trade farm. It really depends on what you want more than anything. It's not that hard to deal with, but you can't like chuck a Shadowfiend there and leave him alone and expect him not to get trampled.
Especially since it's not just the Viper, it's also the Earth Spirit, and also I really like this combo because Earth Spirit, like if you have lanes that actually have kill potential just based on the heroes that are there, it makes Earth Spirit so much better because that setup can actually turn into something.
Yeah, and when you're drafting into Viper, also seeing an Esprit there, it's a lot scarier. Because it's like, well, I can survive against the Viper, and like, say I'd want to draft Puck into Viper, but if I have to use my Orb and Silence to actually wipe the wave out, then the Spirit can come kill me. Phoenix is an interesting pick for sure. If you haven't picked your safe lane yet, because Phoenix as a support is really weak lane support, but they're already seeing a Rubik and a Doom, so they're not too concerned about their safe lane being overwhelmed and think they can get away with it.
One of this could also be an offlaner, but with the Doom on the field, it's a bit tricky. Can't really rely on a Supernova to get yourself out of trouble.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just
or they're just gonna
yeah.
They're gonna pick Winter Wyvern and just go for the 4-bird strategy. The Winter's Curse onto the Phoenix Egg. It's pretty strong. Phoenix offlane. Oh, Phoenix offlane is so bad. I've seen that been played recently. Very. I
think it needs to be a dual lane to try and get anywhere in certain matchups. But
yeah, you're best off just putting him as a +5 and drafting a carry that can handle himself.
I think Phoenix doesn't really do anything with farm, does he? I mean, not much more than he does with just normal levels anyway.
It's more levels that you're interested in, but you buy like a Shiva's. Shiva's is always good. You can actually buy an Octarine Core, it's quite strong on Phoenix as well. Obviously, he's not like a carry or anything, but as far as the sports are concerned, Phoenix is really good because Phoenix can farm very effectively and also does use the money pretty. Like he can buy lots of big ticket items rather than just buying Glimmer Capes and 4-stuffs and stuff.
Yep.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, right now they're not too worried about the egg by the looks of it.
5 seconds remaining.
They don't buy, at least they don't get themselves attack speed heroes. Like used to be back in the day, like we saw a lot of troll warlords anyway. Suddenly pick that into the Phoenix to be able to get rid of the supernova. But the
Radiant
thing is, if that is
team
5% support, which it looks more and more like now, it's
Well,
not
if they
really
want to
worth
pick
it
troll, they
chunking
can
out,
pick
but
it. If they want to pick troll, they can pick it after seeing the carry. You pick the support here. And as I was saying, Phoenix being a very weak lane support, you want to pick a strong lane support in response. And Bane still being in the pool,
10 seconds
very
remaining.
enticing pick as a
Yeah.
counter to Phoenix. If you're representing a Bane and the
5
other team is
seconds
representing a
remaining.
Phoenix, your early game looks really, really comfy.
now there's some other issues though. Like you still have to deal with the Viper, you still have to deal with the Chaos Knight. So and
Well,
Bane is
Bane playing in mid, and if Bane plays in mid, the Viper will have a lot of trouble because level 1 Viper versus level 1 Bane, Bane's gonna totally give him problems. And then they can probably pick something like Shadow Fiend
Dire team
in
back.
mid to play against Viper. Dota also pretty similar to that idea. You just want a very greedy mid that's going to use this Bane and neuter the Earth Spirit, while your
Radiant
offlane
team back.
Doom is just, you leave the offlane Doom solo because he's a Phoenix. He's not really pressured by Phoenix at all. And then you can have your Rubik +1, giving the Rubik space to get level 6 pretty comfy.
also really like the Medusa now. It's just
10 seconds
it's like
remaining.
classic counter to the CK, so that's a solution to that. And
5
Well, the
seconds
interesting thing here
remaining.
is the Vikings have got last pick, and they're last picking their offlane. So this is something that you don't usually encounter, but Hanoi Geniuses are in the position where they have to pick their carry without actually knowing what the offlane is yet. You could suspect it's the Phoenix, but it's probably
Radiant
not.
team pick.
So you have to think, what's Rubik +1 gonna have a good time bullying a offlaner out?
would have said Gyrocopter, but Vikings actually thought the same thing, so they just ban it out.
10
I mean,
seconds remaining.
I've been suggesting Phantom Lights all night, but nobody's been picking it.
5
But as you said
seconds
before,
remaining.
Troll Warlord also would be quite good. Troll versus Chaos Knight, blinding all of the illusions. It's pretty
Oh, yeah.
strong. And blinding the Viper on top of its strength against the Egg.
Another way to go would be so even the Vengeful Spirit. Wouldn't hate that too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can.
think the problem with Vengeance is very single target heavy versus a Chaos Knight.
Yeah.
I think Troll
I think you
is
can
definitely
handle
the
that because you have the
Dire
Medusa to
team
deal with the
pick.
Chaos Knight, but you gotta build the axe there.
Venomancer.
Right,
It's definitely
Venomancer. A
the
bit of a
Venom as a
different route.
carry, definitely not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not popular anymore.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to think about that because the new Brood Mother, I've seen it with a lot of success out of the mid lane still. But Red,
He's
he
gonna
was the
play
offlaner last.
which- yeah.
Yeah.
And Brood actually does not really lane that well against Venomancer.
Especially
It
if he goes
used
for
to
the Gale
be-
build, right? Venomancer just maxes Gale and then
Yeah.
gets his Spiderlings.
It used to be the issue was, you know, the invisibility, you had to bring Dust with you. Now it's you need some disable. And Veno plus Bane or Veno plus Rubik, it's probably not going to have an awful time. That said, the Brood is going to have a good time still.
Alright. Super interesting to see how this works out in the end. 496 of the Vikings. They're here on Dire's side and only one game away, one win away I should say, from
Prepare for battle.
making their own way to the close qualifiers for ESL One Genting 2018. See whether the Medusa and the Venomancer cores here will be enough to turn the tides for the Hanoi Geniuses. Because like it's pretty interesting this how the Medusa works against the CK. Like you're gonna go towards an axe build to just instantly counter out the Phantasm with the stone, turning it to stone. At the same time, like CK can go back for something like a Diffusal Blade, and if you get the drop on a Medusa, like if they're getting the drop on a Venomancer right now, so easy first blood. If you can actually get the drop on a Medusa, burst it down very easily.
30 seconds to battle.
And then, yeah, it's
Mhm.
I don't know. I've seen it both sides.
He
of
actually
that
broke
coin.
the smoke. He broke the smoke, but didn't see that he broke the smoke, then walked back in.
No, no.
So a little bit unfortunate of him. But if you're playing a safe lane carry and you're alone, so this movement that you're doing here, pretty common. Safe lane carry is at the safe lane tower, the other 4 heroes with the other runes. You're basically wanting to either stand in a position where you can clearly see all angles around you and that they have to smoke to approach you.
Like this
So
one
basically
is
that
very
cliff.
common.
Yeah. You want to be actually standing here or here, because if you're here, they're going to walk past and then they'll see you and they've already gap closed. Whereas if you've got daytime vision, you stand here, they have to smoke to approach you. Or just stay in the tower, because there's no point of being away from the tower, really.
No. Well,
He did get a really good block, so good in fact that the range creep's going to die for free.
they got lasted on it though, so that's all that really counts.
Yeah, this is a 1v1.
We want mid though, and Bane actually going for the NP build first. Again. Started earlier today, and it's very annoying to the Viper. Especially without having the ability to rely on that extra damage from the old Nether Toxin passive. To,
Yeah.
secure ourselves last hits. One way to shut him down, like the other one would be to just do the classic thing with Bane, just right-clicking and trading with Brain Sap, but this is also quite
You just got to
effective.
deny a range creep in between enfeebles.
I'm playing Doom level 1 Scorched Earth. Don't see that every day, but it's forced into it at this point.
That's definitely strange. And what the Brood is actually going to do in this game is alleviate pressure from the Phoenix and allow the Phoenix get to his strong mid game. And once this Phoenix Earth Spirit mid game comes online, it's going to be really hard to actually fight into that. So even if they do successfully shut down the Brood, they've still got a lot of game to play.
One point up in Gale, still not quite as potent as it could be just yet. But eventually it's gonna start hurting more and more.
Yeah, the Ven is actually doing surprisingly well in this lane.
Oh, what? What the hell was that? I've been being run
Viper
down
getting
by
run down.
Bane solo, more or less? It was a rest
Oh,
down
yeah.
by the 6 snakes? I don't even know how that happens. But yeah, roll in onto Medusa here. Does have the mana shield to work with, but that'll expire very, very fast. Oh, the miss up a high ground. That is
They don't have the
unfortunate.
damage.
Maybe they
There's
get the
a lot
kill
of
with the
creeps
extra
in there.
slow, but yeah, the NP will also make it very, very hard. Stun will miss, the roll will not. But now NP will on both of these heroes, they're not actually doing anything. Still somehow able to get the kill, but at what cost? They're gonna lose the Earth Spirit, or will they? Walking away, the Brain Sap out of vision. Finds the Duke and jive up the high ground, he'll be absolutely fine, will he?
It's 5 mana for the roll. Oh my god.
Just wait until... deny to
He's gonna use his
creeps.
clarity so he can
Nice.
TP out sooner.
Go down too.
Oh,
He's just
actually going
rolling.
for
He
the kill on
what?
Vic.
I don't even know what's going on. So Viper at the same time, he still hangs around for too long and dies. Venomancer
hungry.
dies bottom to Broodmother because there's a
If he landed
giant
the roll on
army.
the Rubik, he would have got the kill, and the Bane wouldn't be able to get the return kill on him. It's definitely a ballsy play, but worth it nonetheless. He doesn't even get punished for it by missing.
Look at bottom though. No. He died, TV'd back, died again because there's too many spiders to deal with.
Yeah, the spider ball is this big.
This isn't working out. Top lane, we got the dragon.
And now your the Venomancer is in a position where he can't go back to the lane.
Yep.
So the supports are gonna have to come down here, and that's just gonna give the Phoenix space to farm. Actually, just stealing the bounty in there. Icarus dive. Getting both bounties feels pretty good.
Like themselves up for success here, despite this. Like I don't know who's winning mid at this point with all of these back and forth kills happening. But in terms of CS, it's actually Medusa. Just 15 and 6 to 9 and 2. Don't often see that on the Viper. Just like the effect of the Enfeeble. You physically cannot get last with that.
Given that there was a Bane in mid, the Viper having anywhere near the Medusa's net worth is a big win for the Viper.
Yep. That's some 300 gold away, isn't he? That.
It's gonna keep on happening if the Venom just keeps going back to the lane. You need to put the Doom bottom, but the Doom's also only level 3.
Someone got the kill onto Kira? I don't even know what's happening anymore this game. Like, I feel like I needed an extra camera on the Venomancer whenever he TP's down to the bottom.
I think Radiant should stop putting heroes in the bottom lane at this point. The Brood is pretty much unstoppable. The Venomancer could use his level 3 to at least go for a kill on the Viper, for example.
Rolling in, push Medusa away, but it lift onto the Viper. Both these support smoking up, and they should also be able to finish up the Earth, but especially with Sunray, actually. Then things around, bit of heals. But they really want this kill. Can't get it. Too slow. Rolled, got side. Oh, not quite actually. Has to TP out, but will be just fine regardless.
Look at this Viper. He's actually going back bottom. That's the Venomancer.
Well, the tower is dead now, so against some heroes you could say, oh yeah, it's probably where they start doing something else across the map, but Broodmother?
We're just gonna kill him.
Yeah.
We're just gonna kill him in like 30 seconds.
Brood, you're very happy to stick around in this lane.
He's gonna build up some more spiders. Wait for the Soul cooldown.
Oh man. That's...
Oh, there you go.
Alright, that works.
TPL. I mean, he lived, but now what's he gonna do? He's gonna walk back to the lane. But if he comes back to the lane, he doesn't even have a TP out this time.
Radiant structures
I don't know.
The trouble here is that he's thinking that he has a chance of doing anything in this lane, but he doesn't. The only thing that he can possibly do in this game is go fight with his team.
Solo level though, I mean, you have 2 points up in Gale, it's not nearly enough to deal with these spiderlings. And he just dies. Elsewhere on the map, they just run him down too. And he's just killing the Rubik inside the freaking base because he can. Because why the hell not?
The Doom is dead as well.
Oh yeah. It's only level 4.
Oh, there's no more web. There's no more web.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Jeez.
There's gonna be a tower though soon as well, so I don't even know what to say about this game. Even Medusa and mid, 2.1k net worth, just being punished more and more now. I mean, I guess the Viper is not...
If the Brood has gotten to this point, you need to start ignoring him. The only way you're gonna be able to fight the Brood is if you somehow win some fights, 4v5, and get some levels on heroes. Like, this Doom is level 4, this Venom is level 4, everybody in this lane is level 4, they don't do anything to him.
That's level 5. Medusa is the close one, and now it's level 6, but Bluebird's level 9. No way you're fighting.
Investing so much resources into still feeding.
I like that expression actually. Investing many resources into feeding. It's bad, man.
Yeah, I mean, the Brood is not the only hero on Dire's team, but they're playing like he is.
Yeah.
Even if they do manage to kill the Brood, they don't actually really get anything out of it. And it's so unlikely to actually work.
So 2.7 Venom scales, actually put that X-Point in Plague Ward, I actually disagree with that. To survive too long against all these units.
I mean, the Venomancer is support at this point, the Phoenix has more money than he does.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Nothing's really working too well. And it's just a matter of 496 just playing it out very safely, right? They just need to make sure that Vipers end up falling here, but in fact it was a bait. Bots were ready to just finish up the kill on Medusa, and Bane gets the counter, alright. 1 for 1 at this point, that's more than you can hope for. But all that, still space for Broodmother. They continue to put on the pressure down bottom. Venomancers need to be very, very scared. And CK, he's also in this game, right? 4.5k, almost has the armor completed.
Radiant's
He has
bottom tower
50
is
gold
under
and
attack.
we are flying out the
Dire are
ingredients.
scanning.
Yeah, the CK is a hero in this game as much as the Brute's made it look like it's the only hero on the entire team. And he's also like twice as rich as everybody else.
Yeah. Gonna be an issue before long. Start rotating in now if he wants to, and Phoenix with a supernova, and will actually die under the tower.
Under attack.
But get the fire splits off, didn't see the Bane coming in as well, so bit of a freebie.
Yeah.
Trying to make that happen between just two of them.
Also kind of unnecessary.
I mean, Medusa shut down already as it is. We're talking about that being the classic counter to DK, but it only really works if you have the Aghanim Scepter. Outside of that, it's only the ultimate. He hasn't even leveled just yet.
Yeah. You also need your Medusa not to be this poor,
Yeah.
relatively.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But at least they have the
Radiant's
Doom
structures
ultimate
are
now, so it's
fortified.
maybe one tool against the Brood Mother, but you need more than that. Walk up and Doom, then nothing's really stopping him walk away through all the
Yeah.
whips.
They just need to fight 5-3 mid. This is
Yeah.
the opening. Ignore the Brute for now. Get some levels from some hero kills.
That's a good start. Whereas we're missing draws, finds a few too many heroes. Wrestle's team not following up,
Yeah.
which also means that they'll...
Well, they could smoke up into
Radiant's
this
top tower is under
CK. 496 have got a really good ward covering the approach to CK. So it would be hard to smoke onto him even because that ward would probably spot the smoke.
Well, that is gonna go on Medusa. Ultimate committed only gets...
The
one
CK doesn't
win,
actually have too
but,
much left. But Brute is rolling in.
Don't need much. Or enough, yeah, Brood Mother coming through. 1, 2... I would love to hype this up, but it's just like... Oh yeah, Brute shows up and then
Radiant's
you have to
middle
retreat
tower
quite
or you
brutal.
die. That's
Yeah.
one of these games, you know? And
Yeah,
thing is, at this point you have to somehow account for that, because if you ignore this lane at this point, you're not just gonna lose Oddity Towers, you're gonna lose high ground.
Yeah, it's very close to too late at this point. You have to hope that 496 make a mistake. For example, they take a 4v5 fight and the Brood just doesn't show up.
Radiant's middle tower
Finally
has
finish up the
fallen.
tier
And
1
doesn't
mid.
push.
I guess Viper is not out of control yet. That's the only silver lining that they have.
And the supports have been giving some freebies away. On 496, the Phoenix and the Spirit dying unnecessarily. Those are the things you want to play for. Everybody needs to stick together. You don't farm your way out of this game.
Well, this certainly also helps 496 even more. Find a DD rune outside the Roche pick, just go for Roshan. Why the hell not? It's like it's... This is
they're
a
getting
no-lose situation
That's
essentially,
true.
right? Because...
Well, if Vikings could actually, sorry, not Vikings, Hanoi. If Hanoi could actually read that there was a Roche attempt there, they could have gone and contested it. But they do in fact get a massive amount of gold killing the Brood instead.
full 5-man commitment and still lost the Rubik, so hey. But yeah, it's a lot of gold for the Venomancer, so maybe he can start feeling like he's useful. Forward. That's not max level
Well, he
wall,
bought a
so at this point
minus,
that makes it a little bit tricky. Never mind.
Yes, that's not. That's not.
It's still a win-win situation because, like, either you get Roche for free, or you just get a lot of damage on the tier 3 if they... Like,
Radiant's middle tower
one of those
is
is gonna
under
happen.
attack.
Losing Brute there is not ideal.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even care. The Brute's dead, and they're still just like looking like they're pushing towers. The Phoenix has got max 5 spirits, Zeg ready, that's with 6 rocks.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't think that Hanoi are really representing any contest to even in a 4v5 situation. Actually smoking to hunt the Brood right now. But I believe that was spotted.
Dire's
Brood is
middle
not playing
tower
like it
is
was
under
though.
attack.
But the
Radiant's
Bane
top
is not
tower
smoked,
is under
so...
attack. Radiant's top tower is falling.
And the Veno and the Doom are the only two approaching here, but... Sorry, the Rubik and the Doom.
Also, we can find the lifts into the Doom. There are some webs down here. And there are also some Rubik webs, so that's not gonna be...
There's only one web in this area.
Yeah, it's
The
only
Doom is
one
actually
web.
preventing the Doom from escaping, really. But the Doom's wearing off now. Just enough.
Took them so long. At the very least, the rest of the team have not really been able to get too much out of it. With the wards being planted down, so they only got the tier 2 top.
It's a good thing that the Doom had Infernal Blade max, so they wouldn't have had the damage.
Yeah. Very interesting build, actually, but yeah. Only 1 point up in Scorched Earth. Barely see that, but it's been enough for him to survive, I guess. For the most part. Still, though, the rest of the
Brood
dire.
definitely was, yeah, not suspecting anything, because that ward just expired, and they just saw the Bane like walking through by himself, and then the Medusa's just like farming. And you're like, okay, you know, I can see the Bane and the Medusa, you know, fine. And the Rubik and Doom alone are actually enough because he only had one web where he was firing.
Rolling in on mid, committing to magnetize, but Medusa still got the ultimate off, and now, okay, there it is, the Supernova. Kura also coming through with the ultimate committed, and Elspeth not taking out, no more damage over time, even gets some extra heals from the Earth. What's the Sun Ray? So not really that useful, is it?
Radiant structures are
No, it's level
fortified.
2.
Radiant's
I
middle
got one of the
tower is
illusions with
under
it.
attack. Dire's top tower
24
is
golds.
under attack.
It's something, you know. They're gonna lose the tier 2, and with Medusa ultimate on cooldown.
Radiant's middle tower
They're all
is
kinda low
falling.
though. At the very least, yeah, yes. Might not want to just throw away the Aegis like that. Still have another minute on
Dire's
it.
structures are fortified.
496, just full calm and collected, playing this out. Just realizing, hey, we have all the time in the world.
It's ostensibly a post for Rubik, but he has 1,000 less gold than the Bane.
Well,
Dire's top tower has been
yeah,
denied.
like,
Yes, that's what happens
this
when Rubik
entire
is
lineup
4.
is complete poverty mode.
Yeah. Oh no, the sentry just does not quite see the enemy sentry, but the enemy sentry does see the ward. Oh my,
What?
the sentries dodge them both. Unbelievable.
Dire's middle
I mean, to be
tower
honest,
is under attack.
Bane's sentry placement there a little bit suspicious, leaving a gap that large between them. Like that, that cliff there is a very common warding spot. There could be an actual ward there as well, not just a sentry. Like missing a sentry is like whatever.
Well, what also does having that high ground load gives you the small sense of security, so the smoke rotation not be scattered out. They only find the Bane here with the silence, the stun will also connect Kira. Plenty of time for him to come in. Go the kill just as the Aegis expires, but bit of a wraparound on Vipe. He's actually isolated up top. The Gale will miss. Doom is available, but doesn't really want to use it if he can help it. They have the stuns, they have the power anyway. Or do they here? TT is actually going to fall with Supernova coming in. Still lose the Viper. But what cost? Earthbird dropping in another Magnetize onto TY, and Kira following up. The ultimate is out, but that's really going to be enough? Maybe. Maybe not. That's right click. Is going to be enough for the Chaos Knight to finish the job regardless. And hey, guess what? Down bottom, Broodmother.
Radiant's bottom tower
Find some extra space here to just almost kill Rubik and do some damage to the tower.
He has a Tessa, and
maybe
Spider
kill
can
the
eat
Bane.
Feeble.
Hit the Fiend Scourge
The
off.
Doom is still available.
Yeah.
Radiant's
Plenty of stuns and damage actually, alright. Broodmother. Base graded at this point though, Kira. Able to use that Phantasm. They finally finish up Rubik. This tier 3 on top though will be first one to fall. Eventually. Maybe not on this push though, especially with Doom now being used on the real Chaos Knight. He's still super tanky though, follow-up stump. Auto catches Felix as Eagros dives in. They will bring down 2 more heroes. High ground still being held on to. Boom will fall, but Nightmare to interrupt the roll. Earthbird will be a fourth one, and well, they are fighting back. They are getting something here, and they are not they've not lost the high ground just yet.
The Brood dying like that, even though it looks like the net worth change is not that significant because it's still 10k difference, it's actually really, really good for Hanoi to get that pick, even if it looks like it didn't change much, because it goes from your supports having absolutely no items to your supports have a 4-star. So now, instead of you just having 2 total dead weights, you've got 2 guys that can actually be a problem for the enemy team.
Ubik,
It's back to being a 5v5 game.
Actually went back for a second null talisman.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
I think I've ever seen that on a Rubik. Like,
I've never seen that Tranquil Boot double null.
let him turn it into Veil. He has the force off queued up himself now, so like, I don't know.
He wants that mana, but he couldn't afford. I think it's just because you usually want to buy Arc Boots on Rubik for the mana, but he's just been so poor that he couldn't afford it. And he bought the null in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Now that he has actual money, like he's not going to get baited into committing fully to the Veil, but the null just got him where he is now.
The rotation onto the Viper. Earthbird trying to help out, but unable to do so.
So finding a rock to kick.
Yep. They threw in the rock, but it was not enough. Yeah, they were spaced out well enough to still be able to get the control up on the Viper. So that's something we have to start to be a bit careful, because Viper is nowhere where he wants to be really on the Terra. And Broodmother has started to fall off. Like, he has died quite a few times. Has to start to be a little bit more careful with this pressure.
Oh, I think Hanoi are definitely in this game now. Brood has really lost her tempo. She's no longer just an absolute monster that cannot be stopped.
Yep.
The Brood has to actually be scared that he's going to die if he plays like he's been playing lately.
Yep.
And if he dies, it's quite expensive.
Link Doom for another free kill on the Phoenix here. Still holding on to the center stomp to help out, but this time Dire's side to try and turn things around. They get to deny. Phantasm also committed. No Roche up just yet, so they can't get any objectives off of it. So I guess they'll be happy with that, right? It
Yeah,
was
they tried to
an
do
ultimate for an
for
ultimate.
Phantasm. If the Phantasm wasn't wasted, I'd be concerned about a timing push coming in.
Yep.
With your Doom on cooldown. But they don't have to worry about that threat now because Phantasm's off. They're not going to try and push without that. Venomancer's got a Hurricane Pike now, so a lot of 4-staffs gonna be online. They've already got 2. Rubik buying a second one, a third one rather.
Yep.
So Chaos Knight, Viper, and Brood all heavily punished by 4-staffs because they're all single target.
Their slows have a bit of
definitely-
control, but in terms of stuns, they only really have the CK at this point. And Broodmother, like, not itemizing towards the sheepstick and whatnot, this control build, instead just going for the AoE push kind of thing. Only now go back for the BKB.
Yeah, I think Vikings just chill on a bit now. They've kind of got punished 2 times, maybe even 3 times in a row for playing a bit sloppy and just decided to pull in the reins and start playing a little bit more disciplined, take the shrines, take the objectives, stick together. See that they're sticking groups of 2 now, rather than just the Viper being all on his own. Earthspin and Phoenix behind the Viper, and Chaos Knight near the Broodmother, not giving the openings that they were beforehand.
We're just waiting for the next round of items. Heart is about to be completed on the Chaos Knight, just need 1,000 more gold. And the Roshan is ready to...
Cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, Roche just respawned the Kratos flying past it, spotted it.
And with all of this, in Hanoi they're mostly just walking around as 4 or 5 man units, so they can never farm as if they can barely push out into their own jungle to secure that, so that's still the Broodmother's domain right now. So overall, the longer the game goes like this, the more favorable it's going to be farming wise for 496.
I think the main thing is that Venomancer is now actually quite rich. He's actually the richest team on Hanoi. So he's actually in a position where he can carry for them now, whereas before he was, poor in Phoenix.
So for the Aghanim Scepters, so just to throw out as much AoE damage as he possibly can.
You see that Rubik actually did get baited. He's just finished himself a Veil now. Four stuff is now very far away.
That makes sense with the Aghanim Scepter queued up on a Venomancer. Right? You also have 2 points up in Poison Nova, so if you manage to add that all together with the Veil, the aggressive null field as well, further bring down his magic
Good
resistance.
burst damage.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to wipe out the CK illusions.
Yeah.
But since they have a Medusa, I don't know if they're that concerned, especially since Medusa's buying an Ags.
Yeah. Still, even if you don't have the Medusa available, like even up against the Viper, it's certainly very tanky against magic damage. But most importantly, is the boss. Like if you get that combo off in a couple of heroes, the fight's pretty much over unless you already lost some of your own due to Chaos Knight Phantom not being accounted for.
Yeah.
Maybe being able to blow up a hero or two.
The heroes on Dire don't really want to buy BKB, or they should be.
That is the ultimate. Alright, that's what I was talking about. Just kill Medusa. Or you can actually get that off. So now the illusion's still home free for the time being. They're gonna bring down another one. And another one. Venomancer even being run down in the back. So far from the Viper, another buyback used. And the Bane slept up. The Violings will finish him off. And, well, anything that we've been talking about purely academical if they just lose the entire base right now. It did bring down a Broodmother somehow, down bottom, if there was a Doom involved, but now, back in front lines, dieback and Medusa, none of them are dieback and Medusa as well as Venomancer even.
Yeah, I think they're gonna lose the whole base.
Think about buyback in this game.
Brood could even buy back, just to close it up.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Well, 106. They've been playing cool, calm, and collected, just getting that run of items, getting that Aegis, that she's still even have both of that available in the course. So, no problems finishing up the rest of the base now. I think you can just tank with the heart. And the support's just buying time, buying space, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they're not actually going to be able to finish the base now, because people are respawning, and it's just CK and the Viper here. They could get held off long enough by the Doom and the Bane.
Maybe, maybe not. Magic is still alive, they're gonna bring down one, looking for the second. They still Viper Strike, but Doom actually coming in with a Blink Stomp automatical, dropping in something.
Bane has buyback, he's not using it though. Might have just given up.
Looks so weird to see the Viper just struggling to kill the Rubik because of the enfeeble. Yeah, he does it in the end. But Kira, objective-based gaming, all the time that he needed just to finish up the Mega Creeps, and now Broodmother's back. They begin with BKB, finish up the TT on the Venomancer, and
come on, Bane, you have buyback, bro. You're not gonna defend Megas by saving $500. Sorry, 800.
don't think you're gonna defend Megas, period. As a Bane, especially. Well, it is what it is. Broodmother last pick, just outdrafted, I guess. It happens.
When your opponent's got that last pick off flame, you always gotta be worried about that.
Well, at the very least, Hanoi, they can still rest easy in the knowledge that they still have their soul. As the Vikings, well, they gave that up picking that Broodmother, but hey. Gotta do what you gotta do. 2-0 is the scoreline now, and it's best of 3. That means that they are one of the teams that make it through to the close qualifiers for the ESL One Genting SEA. And of course, we saw New Beginning do the same thing earlier, and Evos was the winner of that other matchup. And the last one will be either Ang.game or Wave. That game's also going on right now on ESL_join Dota Blue if you want to check that out. But for us here right now, That's us done for the day, actually. Roger, thanks very much for joining. Do you have any last words about the series that we saw today?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. Thanks very much for having me.
Right. Thank you for joining. Thank you guys for watching, and well, see you next time.